Hi, this is Elvira from Scrappy Mania, and today I have an old product that's been in my craft room for years, and is these We Are Memory letterpress. So I do have the Evolution, and I do have all these plates. So as you can see here, these are the We Are Memory plates, and it uses the letterpress. I did get the letterpress kit. And I have all these plates because I was on the auto ship. And these are foam that you use for spraying your ink. And then these are adhesive. And let me see what this is. Oh, this is the card. These are some letterpress cards that you can use for your card. And I think I may use one of these for my card. Okay, so I am going to experiment and let's see how we can do this letterpress technique using my We Are Memory letterpress. And I'm going to use this one that says Happy Birthday. I already put some adhesive on the back so we can glue it onto the plate. These are some Happy Birthday ephemera that I got from the Spellbinder kit that my sister gave me. I do have a video in where I made 62 cards using that kit. I just added some of my own cardstock in order to make the 62 cards. So I am going to use that, and I'm going to use this for my letterpress. I am going to use VersaFine because I want to go ahead and use the embossing powder. The We Are Memory kit came with some oil-based ink, and I really didn't like it. So it was very messy. I didn't like it. It was hard to take off your hands, and it was not good stuff. Or at least for me, I just didn't like that whatever that was. So I want to go ahead and do it with my ink. The first thing I want to go ahead and do is, because I'm going to use embossing powder, I'm going to go ahead and put some powder on my base here, so that way we can go ahead and don't get stragglers of embossing powder on anywhere but where I want it. The next thing I want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and put, okay, I want to go ahead and put my plate on here, and I'm going to place it right where I want it. So I'm using the grid to kind of align it. It came with these guards, so you want to go ahead and place your guards next to your plate. And I do have some repositional adhesive on the base of this platform. Okay. But it's not the greatest adhesive. I think I need to do a really thicker coat. But it will do. So here I got some VersaFine or Versamark, not VersaFine, Versamark watermark ink. I'm going to ink my pad, and I'm going to make sure I spray it really good on here. I hope this comes out. It's the first time that I'm using this. And see, having those guards help because you basically don't get the ink on the base. You just remove these guards. But you can go all the way from the beginning to the end. I hope I'm putting enough. I think if I would have used ink, it would have been a lot easier to see if I'm getting a good ink transfer. But I think I'm good here. Okay. So now that I got that, I'm going to remove these things. I'm going to go ahead and place my card like so, And there is my card. It's gonna fit right there. And then I'm gonna place this down. Now I'm ready to bring, let me put these here so I don't lose them. I'm ready to bring my Evolution machine. And then it has a dial and it has letterpress right here. It says letterpress. And this is thick cardstock. So the smaller, you can see different levels. So that's your paper thickness. So my paper is pretty thick. So I'm going to put it to the thickest of the paper, the letterpress. The thickest of the letterpress settings right there. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'm going to open this up. And it clicks down. And then I'm going to crank it. And actually, I think I'm going to have to change direction on this and put it this way. Okay? And now I'm just going to crank it through. Okay, and I'm going to bring it back and bring it forward. I can feel it a little harder to crank there. And let's go ahead and see what we got. I'm going to go ahead and bring some scrap paper. And let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to take my embossing ink and I'm going to scoop some of this up. I might have to do one with different ink and see how it comes out. So let's go ahead and use my embossing tool. Not bad. Now this is with it's more like the cardstock is more like watercolor cardstock. So I want to try this technique with a smoother piece of paper and see if we get a different results. Because I'm going to bring it back over in a second. As you can see here, it works, but it's not very thick. Or so let's try this technique with a different type of cardstock. So I'm just going to get some nice smooth cardstock. So these are my cardstock that I use for when I'm doing foiling, and it's the Hammer Mill Premium Color Cover cardstock. This is 110 pound. So let's go ahead and try one of these. I do have different, I have 110 pounds, 60 pounds, and 80 pound cover. And then I do have just a laser glossy. So maybe we can try even the laser glossy. See how well that looks. Okay. So this is 110 pounds. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Now, I think I'm not that happy with this gold. So let's try a different gold. And this is one of the gold embossing powders that I love. It's from Stupendous. So let's try this technique with that gold embossing powder. And I think what I want to do, I want to get another one of these because it's not fair that we use that powder. So it's not the greatest, I don't think. So I'm going to redo it. This time I'm going to use Stupendous, so I'm going to use the glossy Hammermill 100-pound copy cardstock, and then the one that came with We Are Memory. And then we're going to do this again, so we're going to put the bumpers on. So one of the bumpers go there, and then the other bumper go here. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna do, actually, let me just get my trusted embossing buddy instead of that brush. It left some hairs behind. I don't like it. So let's just do this. Okay. So now that we have that, and I cannot tell if it's transferring or not, but let's see. And one more time, just for good measure. Okay, now let's remove these bumpers. Let's go ahead and place my card on here. Let's close this. Let me put this aside. And I'm going to bring my We Are Memory Evolution. I like the Evolution more than the new machine. I don't know about that new machine. They have some called Revolution, but I like my Evolution because I can dial it. I have it at letterpress with thick cardstock. And then I'm going to run it through. And then I'm going to run it through one more time. And then one more time forward. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Has a good impression. Let's see how this works. Much better. Much, much better. Look at that. So now let's go ahead and heat it up. Okay, look at the difference between that and this. Very different. So I really like this one. Okay, so now we're going to try it. So that's with the paper that came with the We Are Memory letterpress kit. Now let's try it. Let me get rid of some of this extra embossing powder. Now we're going to try it with regular cardstock. So we're going to, this is a glossy cardstock. So this one is, let me get it here, what it is. So that one is our Hammermill Color Lasik Gloss, 32 pounds. So let's try the Hammermill Gloss, Laser Gloss, 32 pounds. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Oh, before we do that, so I'm going to go ahead, make sure I get rid of any excess oils on my paper. Oh, and I need to put my bumpers back on. Put back your bumpers. And that goes against your lettering or whatever you're using, whatever dye, letterpress dye you're using. Okay. Let's remove the bumpers. Let's go ahead and get our paper and place it down. Close this. Bring back our machine. Now, this is thinner cardstock, so as you can see here, I had it on the thicker cardstock. I'm going to put it on the first line. So this is the thickness of your card stock, and since it's only 35 pounds, I'm going to go to the thinnest setting on the letterpress. And see, I have it on the thinner setting for the letterpress. Let's run it through. Because you don't want to break the cardstock. Because what you can do is if you put too much pressure, it act more like a die cut than a letterpress. Let's get this out of the way. Let's bring this back. Let's bring my paper back. Bring this back. And now let's go ahead and get some powder on here. Okay, that looks good. I blew it a little bit. Now let's heat it up. And look how beautiful that looks. It almost looked like gold foil. Really looks nice compared to this one. This one came out more matte, but look at that one. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's try the Hammermill 100-pound premium copy. I think it's called Premier Copy Paper. Premium Color Copy. Well, it's this one. Hammermill Premium Color copy cover 100 pound. So that is the next one we're going to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and use my embossing buddy. Make sure I put enough on there. Put my bumpers on. Okay. Bring my ink back and let's ink it up. Okay, so let's remove these. Let's put this, and I might do it this way. No, let's do it how it needs to be, this way. Bring back my machine. Oh, and this time I'm going to put it medium. So there's three paper. Let's see if I can move it. There's three paper. There's a thin paper, medium cardstock, and a heavy cardstock. So I'm using the medium for this one because it's a 100 pound cover paper. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, and then 3, and bring it back. You know, one thing we tend to buy, well, at least me, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to buy a lot of products, and sometimes I don't use all my products, so I need to get better at it. So that's why if you have this and you haven't used it, maybe I inspire you to start bringing out whatever you have and start using it. Now I noticed that it has like a little speck here, so I'm going to see if I can remove that speck. Whatever that was. It may have messed up that area, but that's okay. We'll see. So I'm just blowing it, and then see there's a little bit there. So I'm taking a paintbrush and just cleaning the excess where I think I'll have some. And then now let's see how it works. Now this paddle, it came with a totally Tiffany embossing station. And I do have on my website a review of that embossing station. I do like it. I don't use it that often. I usually mainly have it to keep my embossing tool on and have my paddles. It's right next to my desk. But because I don't really have a lot of space, it's on the side. I don't bring it over here to where the camera is because I don't have a lot of working space to bring that big equipment over. But where it's at, it works because I put my embossing tool on it, and then I can grab it whenever I need it. It's one little area that doesn't want to emboss. Okay. For some reason, this little area, I may have burned it. You run a risk of burning your embossing powder if you're on too long. And I may have burned it a little bit right there, but see, it looks nice. Not bad, not bad. So let's go ahead and use those to make a card. So I'm going to make one card using that, one of those panels. So let me put everything back before I start spilling things, and I shall be back. So I decided to use this one that's more like watercolor paper, because I am going to do a technique with putting some background after the fact. So I'm also going to use this card blank from Recollection. It's one of those card blanks that you get at from Michael's, and I'm going, once I color this, I'm going to cut it down and leave like a 1/8 of an inch border around my whole card. So here's where I have my color sticks. I'm going to bring a palette that I made with lamination, and then I am just going to scribble some color on here. And see, we have pink. These are more like these stickers. There's some pink, yellow, gold. I like this teal. There's probably some teal in there. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a paintbrush and liquefy these a bit. I may need to use more. And I'm going to just get some water on here so I can drop some. And this was kind of dirty. Oh well. I'm just going to drop some water on here. And don't like that look. Let's see if we can fix it. Sometimes, even though things are not coming out, you can just keep going. See if you can fix it a little bit. And maybe just bring this over. Let's see if we can fix this card. Okay. Let's see, let's dry it. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit. Let's try, well, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. I'm still going to use it. Let's see how it comes out at the end. When you don't throw you keep working at it, even though it may look like a disaster. Keep working on it. Because we might be able to save this. So I'm going to cut on the side here. So I'm trying to just cut it even. And then this is 4 1/4, so I want to go 4 inches. because I like the placement, so that's why I cut a little bit on each side, equal amounts, to bring it down to the size that I want, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now notice I don't like that it's getting lost. It needs like something to bring it out. So let's see what we can do in order to make this pop a little bit. And it's still kind of wet. But let's go ahead and see if we can do something to make this pop. And I think what I'm going to do is, whenever I have something that I want to pop, I bring my black marker and I just go on the edges, like so. And now when I put it against here, it looks better. So I have these fonderie wax that I saw advertised some time ago. And I think I want to go ahead and put some of this on here. So you got to kind of shake it really good. And how I saw them using this is that they put a little bit, like so, not a lot. They put a little bit of water. I think that's what they did. And then they put it on the cardstock. And when you heat emboss it, or when you heat it, it gets shiny. And I may be making it worse. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. This wax thing. Shake the bottle until mixing. Apply droplets of wax to craft sheet. Apply directly to surface using a dry paintbrush. Heat with heating tool to transform the finish as well. Okay, so I did not use it how it's supposed to be used. So we're going to leave it that way. Let me go ahead and clean my palette. I could have sworn I saw somebody use this some time ago. That's why I bought it. So on YouTube, so that's one of the influencers had it. Yeah, it did not do what I wanted. But I think that's good. And then let's look at the cupcake. I might put the cupcake here. Or I might even just do the hat. Okay, so let me go ahead and adhere this first on my cardstock. And it's still a little wet. Okay, let me just go ahead and use this adhesive very strong, so it's going to hopefully keep it nice and flat. And one thing with it, you only get one chance. You cannot pull it apart. So I have to make sure I put it down exactly where I want it. And there. There you go. And then let's see. I think I'm going to use this cat. Put him there, and then I'll put a happy face there. And there is my cardstock, my card. Doesn't look too bad. It's okay. But basically I just wanted to show you the technique that you can use. This will be very nice. So I think I'm going to use some alcohol ink later on and make a nice little background, and then I'll add some more of these stickers on there, and it's going to look nice. But I hope you like this video. And where I showed you how you can use your templates, how you can use your letterpress in order to create cards. So I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.